Hello, it is Bones, and today we're going to talk about comics once again. For those of you who already know that you like my videos, please like right now so that you don't forget. Otherwise, I'll try and remember to tell you at the end. Today we're going to be talking about turning outlines and turning panel-less scripts into scripts with panels and pages delineated. This is based on a question I got from Micah. Thank you for your questions. They are fueling me. And thank you for your comments. Basically, what I want you to do is go into the comments, write what you did working on your comic today. I get enjoyment and I get boosted in the algorithm for it, and you get accountability. So go downstairs to the accountability station. And if you want even more accountability, you should check out our Discord, because there's tons of lovely comic people on there, always working on comics and cheering each other on. So back to Micah's question. How do you break down a panelless script into one with panels? And in the question, you mentioned that you have trouble visualizing things. And I think one of my main points today on this is you don't have to visualize, okay? I think it's very good to visualize where you can, but I don't think it's the bread and butter when it actually comes down to how you break panels down. So when it comes to actually visualizing things, I will only really have a concrete vision of something when it's a very specific centerpiece type page, type panel, what have you. In 9 Point, the comic that I am coloring on screen right now, there's a few pages where the very first page of 9 Point, actually, I think it's the second page. Yes, the very second page of 9 Point, I had a very distinct idea on what I wanted to do with it. So if you check out 9 Point, go to the second page, you'll see what I'm talking about. But pages where there is a funky idea, a little bit of experimentation, I tend to have a more visual idea of like what I'm about to do, and I write it down and describe the visual, and I then will go back to Ursula and explain the visual that I am seeing to make sure that we're on the same page and that we get something that I am imagining. When it comes to your average page, I don't always visualize it tons. I don't visualize it more than I would in like a novel, you know, where like I don't expect an illustration to be done of it, where the entire visualization is just me visualizing for my own sake. When I am structuring a page, when I am structuring a panel, I don't think of it as a purely visual thing, because it's not. Panels and pages, they are structure, you know, they are time, they're framing. They're not entirely about what the page will be looking like. You know, like when you sit down in your thumbnailing stage and take your script and make it visually interesting, that is a different process to why you would break things down into the specific panels that you do. Panel, page, they're storytelling, they are pacing, and you can do that without having to visualize. Each panel that you're showing is to get across some amount of information. You can think about panels almost as the sentences that build up a paragraph, which would be your page, rather than thinking of them as purely the storyboard image that you get at the end. Like, I think it's easiest to see this in something like a gag strip, where there's a very set format, but you can see that the narrative, the arc of a joke is contained within several panels making up a page, you know, and that can then be extrapolated out to all sorts of different types of comics. Because while in a narrative comic, each page is going to flow into the next page, there still tends to be a central arc around each page. Deciding what dialogue goes on what page is a matter of deciding what is this specific page about. You know, it's not, they're all connected, but they all contribute their own specific their information. They each have their own specific information. Like, what is this page about? Is this page meant to be the transition between scenes? You know, like, is this page meant to be a reveal of something? If you take some time and go read my comics, perhaps, I think you can kind of break down at which point, like, what the point of each page is. And within each page, each panel has its own point. So, like, each panel has not necessarily its own new information. You can have panels that are repeated to create time. Like, there's some play with time that is in there that you can do, but each panel is going to have its own central information. And, like, sometimes you're gonna have like tons of bubbles with lots of information, but it makes sense to keep them within a panel that you are writing. When I was like first starting in comics, I think I got very scared of putting too much information in one panel, too much information in like one set of bubbles. I was very sparse in my dialogue. I think it's a good quality sometimes to be very snappy. I think you can see that in my comic Pretty Mouth, where I was very... I don't know if Pretty Mouth was this bad. You're also gonna find that, like, to be honest, when I'm like sitting down and writing comics, a lot of the time I just kind of will keep to a certain number of panels, and then I'll try and break from it on occasion. Different types of comics are going to have more panels or less. It's completely up to you. I tend to do 4 or 5 panels, and then once I start getting more than that, I'm like, okay, can I visualize this? Does this justify having 6, 7, 8 panels? Or do I need to split this into 2 thoughts, or do I need to condense some panels down? A lot of the times when you're having like back and forth dialogue, you don't need that many panels. Paying attention to your panel count is good because it can make you realize that maybe this like back and forth dialogue can be in one panel because it's all very self-contained, and continuing it for several pages is just gonna pad things out and make your hands hurt. Now, do you have to sit down and break things into panels and pages when you're writing your script? Not really. If you want to publish, I know a lot of people are gonna want things broken down into page and panel. It helps for calculations and whatnot. It's a good practice, and the more that you do it, the easier it gets. It's really helpful too. In the same way it'd be helpful to a publisher, it can be helpful to know how many pages you're going to get out of your script, because that can better help you like time things. It's fine if you don't. Yeah, I think that's all I really have to say on the matter. It's going to be a short one today, I guess, which is fine because my throat's being a little sore. I might stream tonight. I think I might do a secret game stream. I'm sorry that I've missed a few of them to the 20 or so viewers of those streams. We've been playing Octopath, which is fun. I feel like I should comment more on story structure when I play games, because I think about it a lot. I don't know. I'm thinking about another question that I got from you guys that I'm going to answer tomorrow. Yeah, if you have any questions, I make sure to screenshot them on my phone, and I slowly delete them as I answer them. So regardless of what video you comment on, I should be able to see what you said. And I again, thank you so much for all of your support. It's been going great, and I've been having a really good time. So I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.